Okay, before you get mad, I had homework, so that's why I was gone for 4 years. Going on 5. Hello. If you don't remember me, that's completely valid. I made content for a little bit of time, but kind of just stopped in 2020. And ever since then, this channel's kind of been a ghost town. My absence wasn't something I really wanted, more so something I just was never ready to fully come back to. For the longest time, I thought about making content, but always decided not to because I was too afraid, and also because I was dealing with a lot of what you would call shit. So for a long time, I was just getting by in life, trying to figure out what I wanted to do, just going to school, doing what I needed to do. I did that, and then I came back. I'm here now. So that's cool. It's not like I wanted to leave. I had plans of coming back for a long time. In fact, I wrote the Metal Gear Solid 2 video. But if you can tell, that didn't go very well because it hasn't been fucking released. My issue was that I would work on it like for a week and I'd get really far into it. Like I would be deeply immersed and entranced by the work that I was putting into it. And then I would just stop, months would go by, and I just would not touch it at all. Like, I would not touch the file, I wouldn't do anything. So, 6 months later, yeah, I would do work, but is it really saying anything if the work you're doing is only a week's worth and it's over a time span of like a year? Halfway through it, I even started to doubt it. I started to think, hey, maybe this whole Metal Gear Solid 2 thing is just a little too ambitious, which it was. The Metal Gear Solid 2 video is so mind-boggling in its scope and scale that I wanted it to be. For context, I deeply cringe at that old video. I genuinely don't like it. I rushed the second half of it, which is very apparent. My points were off, and I've had people tell me its formatting and structure jumps around a lot. All things that I agree with. I think that I could have done way better on that video. But given my age and my time and my, in general, lack of experience, didn't allow me to at the time. But now, I'm older. I'm kind of, I'd like to say wiser, but probably not. Now we're here, and I've barely did anything YouTube related. But I want that to change. I want to make something new, and I want to make something that I can just have consistently on lock for at least a week-to-week basis. So I decided that this was going to probably be the best way to do it. My original approach of just working on the Metal Gear Solid 2 video was just not feasible. It wasn't going to work. And that's where this came from. The weekly wrap-up is I guess the name implies, wrap-up. What I had done that week, how my life is going, and basically an excuse for me to put out content. How it's going to work is I basically get to do whatever I want. Mostly the videos are going to be in this format, but it can vary. The format is as follows. I have to make a video once a week on a Saturday. No more, no less. It can be as long or as short of a video as I want it to be. I just need to make something. So that's what this is. As far as what I'll actually be doing, that can vary. I could talk about a video game that I want to play, some topic that I really feel the need to, and I have a lot of topics to get to, like fucking Hideo Kojima. Because what would this channel be if I wasn't talking about Metal Gear? It would just be really dead, and I don't want that. So with all that out of the way, I guess let's get into it. I'm not gonna really explain in this video where I had been for the past 4 years, because I really just said what it was. I kind of just lost the drive to make videos, and that really sucked, because I love YouTube. I love making videos, and I love editing, and I love voice recording. Well, I don't love voice recording. I honestly kind of hate it. I dread voice recording so much. I'm in this fucking hot room. This is just completely transparency. I took like fucking 20 minutes just to set this all up. I have like foam pads. I'll probably take a picture and show on the screen, but I had to do a lot of setup for this. And yeah, it's going to be a difficult process, but you know what? What would life be if it wasn't difficult? I have a lot of things that I like now. I still like a lot of the things that I liked 4 years ago. I still love Metal Gear, though I don't really love its creator anymore, which is stuff that we'll probably get to in the next video. But overall, I'm a different yet same person, which I'm pretty comfortable with. I'm okay with not being completely different, but also not being completely the same. I think that's the perfect balance for me, because that's who I am. So now we're going to talk about the newest fixation that I have. So my latest fixation is Bismuth. Bismuth is like the most incomprehensible way to make music ever. Bismuth is the weirdest DAW, quote unquote, if you can even call it that I've ever experienced. I've liked making music, but instruments are crazy fucking expensive, and some of the DAWs are really challenging to get used to. For the longest time, I used GarageBand, which is fine, it works, but it is a little bit cumbersome to get over, which I think really hindered my creative process. So for a long time, I just didn't do anything with it. But recently, something's come up. It all started when I got into electronic music. I went from rap to rock to now being just in love with electronic music. And so, naturally, I wanted to make my own. But dear God, was I not going to try and do it in GarageBand? That sounds absolutely terrible. So instead, I did something kind of unconventional, and that honestly just kind of sounds stupid. What I decided to do was to look up PS1 DAWs. It's so fucking goofy. Like, who the fuck goes, oh yeah, I want to make music, but I want to do it on a PlayStation? Fuck's sake, man. So I looked up PlayStation 1 DAWs, and surprisingly, one came up called MTV Music Maker. And honestly, this program is not that bad. It is kind of good. But at a certain point, I kind of was like, how do I export this? Conventionally, there's no way to just export a PS1 file to a laptop, or at least not that I know of. But then again, I haven't done that much research about it because I'm not doing that anymore. So while it was cool and while I still do mess with it at time to time, it's not feasible for actual music making. Nor is the next thing that I'm about to tell you. I use Bismuth. If you haven't heard of Bismuth, that's perfectly fine. It's kind of been eclipsed by the likes of FL Studio or what's the other one? It's like I think it starts with an Ableton. Yeah, that's Ableton. Yeah. It's been eclipsed by the likes of FL Studio and Ableton. To call it a DAW is like to call a burger a pastry. Bismuth is modules, and it's all like separated into like little nodes, I guess, which perfectly works out for me because I took an animation class and we used a program called Harmony, which basically had us draw each like character limb, and then we would animate those on pivots. While it's absolutely not the same, its node feature and idea were not foreign to me, so it kind of intrigued me, and I gave it a try. I can't lie to you, I had no fucking clue what I was doing. No joke, I spent 3 days trying to get the sound to work. Not because of anything wrong with my computer or anything wrong with my audio settings. Straight up, when you play a kick drum, it doesn't play. You have to put it through a signal generator or whatever the fuck it's called. Now you may say, Sean, that is the most unoptimal way to make music ever. And you're not wrong, but there is a feeling that cannot be matched. There is a feeling when you have struggled for 3 hours to make a sound and get it all into position and just sounding the way that you want it to. There's something about when you finally finish that track and you hear it all together that just overwhelms you with this sense of accomplishment that I have never experienced before in my life. Genuinely, I think you should try Bismuth. It's not the best way to make music, it's not even the most practical way to make music, but it is kind of the most interesting way to make music. It has some really fun GUI aspects to it too. For instance, your sound is like kind of shown to you in real time, so like you'll have like waves and line forms and wavelengths that will phase in and out and stuff. It's really cool. Another thing that I was doing this year, probably in the last like 3 weeks to a month, is I went to my first concert. Around like 2023, I was really into like ambient stuff and I guess like post-rock. And then I found this band called Godspeed You Black Emperor. Godspeed is not your traditional band. It's not your verse, chorus, verse, intro, outro, bridge sort of deal. It's more of interweaving long, draining sessions into absolutely like magnificent pieces back down into the melancholy again. You just have to listen to it to really understand it. And even if you don't understand it, that's perfectly fine. Anyway, I bought tickets a while ago. And 6 months later, I went to their show. I'll show videos, and I have a playlist with the videos that I took because the concert was very like video friendly. But this thing was just, it was so cool. I've always been kind of anxious about concerts. Being around a lot of people all close together has never been my really like ideal way to like experience something. School is fine. It's mostly just the same thing that you go through every single day. Same schedule, same thing, same people, same atmosphere. But concerts are wild. They're unpredictable. You don't really know what's gonna happen at one of them. That was kind of a risk that I didn't know if I wanted to take. But this was, in my opinion, a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity for me to see one of my favorite bands live. So I jumped at the opportunity, and 6 months later, I was walking into the Granada Theater. Now, I won't lie, I was a little dumb when I bought the tickets. I originally thought that you were going to be able to sit down, so it wasn't going to be like your traditional concert experience. It was going to be like more like a theater performance. But then I got there, and people are just standing up, and there's no chairs, so that completely went out the fucking window. The first third of the concert was spent finessing and weaseling my way into whatever position was optimal for me to see the band. Because, you know, you don't want to spend like $60 on tickets just so you can watch like the back of somebody's bald head. But when I did get to a place, I genuinely had a lot of fun. I left like 2 songs before the end, which basically meant I missed like 30 minutes. But I left to go get some food, and I had this really good dish. I don't remember the name of it, but it was, I'm gonna put it on screen. It was this place, and I had this thing. Really good, got great value, great meal, so good. It was an experience that, while I don't think I'd want to go like weekly, if a band that I really enjoy or love comes into town, I'll definitely try to go. So that was my experience with the Godspeed concert. I enjoyed myself, and I hope that you enjoyed this too. I know that I'm not the best speaker at all, especially when I'm making videos. There's just something about making like content and voice recording that just really like nerves me, but if I don't do this, then I never will, and I'll never end up making that Metal Gear Solid video. So I gotta do something. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week with some more stuff to talk about, probably electronic music and MP3 players, because I have one of those. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.